Hello and welcome back to the video. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is this about? Well, it is snowing outside, so it's Christmas. Trust me, it's Christmas. But we'll do more of that on a later date. So as you can probably tell by the title of this video, this is the roundup of me. Now, if I was very good, I'd have rolled myself up into a bowl or something, but I'm not that flexible, so I'm not going to do that. So what it means by the roundup of me is exactly what it sounds like. It's a roundup of me in, over the few years that I've been doing this. Let's go fix that, shall we? Hello guys, welcome back. Now you're probably thinking, wait, what? Why have you got different? What? Basically, I did the video, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Then I went and checked all my facts and realised that it was all bullshit. Basically, I'd got a few dates wrong. Basically, I was like, started back in 2009, and I didn't post my first video in 2012, and then started referring to everything by 2009 standards. I was like, oh. It's like, shit. Also, the reason that the Christmas jumper is in the wash basket is because it's no longer snowing. I'm sad. Yes, sadly. Just in case you're wondering why I'm wearing this. Yeah. Basically, what I said was complete bullshit. I cut all of that out, bar the intro, because it was actually alright and sounded somewhat professional and actually scripted. So, yay! You might recognise this for the video that's going to come out tomorrow, as I did this, saying yes, I'm going to do this, and I'll edit up this, and I'll put it out. And when I started trying to go through it, I was like, wait, that's wrong. I know that's wrong. So, yeah. Anyway, let's rewind and start again. Hello! So, as I was saying before, I started my channel back in 2009, almost 10 years ago. Now, while I started it then, I didn't actually post my first video until the 19th of February 2011. 2 years after I actually started the channel. I think it was December 2009, and then it was February 2011. So it's a year and about 3 months, give or take a few days either side, since I started it to when I first posted my first video. That video was called Rant at the Screen, where this chubby little bald buzz cut kid recorded his content this way. So he had the weird black boxes. I didn't record it this way so it filled the entire screen. Why? Who knows? This guy definitely doesn't. So, fun. That at current has about 280 views, and it was pretty shit. I will admit it myself. I was like, okay guys, that's funny. It wasn't, it was shit, and yeah. Stupid fat kid. As the years gone on, I started posting more and more. Most of them were really shitty stuff. However, my big breaker of a video, which saw me the biggest growth, was my Truffle Shuffle video to Ace of Fury or something by Death Metalla. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, that was my first thing that actually broke myself, and that currently sits at about 1,500 views. So back in those days, I actually had money coming in. That would have made me quite a bit of dollar. After that, stuff like my new piss take, pee take, because I was still a kid and I was scared, and I didn't know how I'd get demonetized or not. Because at this point, I didn't know about this stuff. I was like, yeah, I know about demonetization. I don't really want it. All the way to the point where this came over in about 2013 when I went over to the States. It was about summer 2013. Was it? Actually, no, I don't think it was. I think it was. Basically, 2 trips. One at New Year's, which was to Egypt, where I did some stuff. And then one when I went over to the States and did a few videos there. Both of those, one of them was fine because it's literally just panning of the desert, and I thought it was beautiful and gorgeous. And yeah, I will make a good playlist. I don't know why I've got friends, but we'll do that. I'll make a playlist of all the videos I'm talking about in this video, and I will link that at the end, and it should be there at the end of the video. But I did that, and I also did one when I went over to the States, and I did a lot of videos with in and around the Ground Zero Memorial. And again, some of this is up this way, some of it's this way. It's a mess. It's a mess of an edit, but it was my first time actually properly dealing with an editing software and trying to make somewhat decent content, which clearly I've abandoned as I've decided just to do one take because it's slightly easier. Don't have to put much of editing in it. However, I do have to spend a hell of a lot more time actually scripting things out, which I don't mind because I find it more entertaining this way because you get the raw me. Also, I don't have to edit, which I can do, and hopefully you guys have seen this over the few years that I've started doing more editing. You know, all the way back when I did those first edits, all the way to now when I'm doing the edits for last week. However, that's not where we're at yet. This is last week, and this is now, so we're going to go back all over here. So I did stuff like that. It's a mess of an edit, but I was still proud by that. I also then started doing more stuff that I was like, yes, I will try and do this, and it will get me more views if I start doing more adventurous stuff. That didn't work. It was stuff like going to a pool, pirates, blah blah blah. Give me money, please. Please give me money. Money is basically the period of my life between posting that Ground Zero video and maybe going to college. Was just give me money, please. So during that, I started doing a daily vlogging like I do with last week, but I was actually posting it on a daily basis. They were small, short, and one-taked. And I didn't script for any of it. I just kind of rambled, which is kind of where I was coming up with the channel name. Now, around about this time, I changed from Cameraboy to K10 because at that point I thought I was cool, and kind of shows when I started the channel. Started it late 2009, I was like 2K10. Well, it lasted me for about fucking 1 year, which was brilliant if you ask me. So around about this time I started to change who I was as a YouTuber, as a person, and kind of where I wanted this channel to go. I didn't want it to be known as that comical little shit channel with the shitty name. So I decided to change it. Now, there was many thoughts that were going around, which included just simply Gao, but I thought people might get confused with Gods of War, Gears of War. I was like, Kami-G? No, don't really like that. CG? No. Rambling Gao? I was like, yeah, that could work. That could work. Could do a little funny thing, having a cow, like a gold G around its neck, marauding through a field, and I was like, yeah, but that's too much editing. I'm not very good at pictures. And then I decided, well, gotta stick with the whole Scottish theme. I am Scottish. I will always be Scottish. I thought, okay, there we go. We'll have that as a background of who I am, and I can still put Gow in there because I can just take out my tartan. I'll put my tartan behind there. I was like, okay, so what? Scottish Gow, tartan, Gow, tartan, tartan. Yeah, we'll stuck with tartan. I was like, okay, now let's put something else in there. I can't just call myself tartan. I was like, well, hunting tartan? No. Hunting hunter? No. I was like, well, I like animals. So I was like, I'll put an animal in there. I was like, well, dragon? No. As people know, I have a weird obsession with dragons, pugs, and penguins. I was like, tartan dragon, tartan pug. That was a very strong possibility, actually. Tartan penguin? No. And then I was like, well, I don't know. And then I heard the news, sad news, of Hybrid Panda leaving the Yours cast. And I was like, oh, no, why? And I was like, wait, Panda? He will just be calling himself Hybrid Panda now, not Yours cast Panda. Which means I could maybe just borrow that name. So I trialled it, Tartan Panda. It's like, you know what, yeah. And I made up a few channel arts for it. They're really bad. And even the one I've got now, it was a third generation of it. I had actually just started with a TP, black and white TP, on the top background. And I was like, yeah, no. Might work if I get famous enough to make merch, perhaps. But not this, no. So then that got delegated to my channel art and not my avatar art. And that's when this panda face came in. This anime Kuyu panda face on the back of a tartan, on a tartan back. And I was like, okay, yes, we'll go with that. And then my backing art got changed again to an actual hand-drawn panda, which I borrowed off the internet. Heaven forbid, and placed on the background, fixed it a few up and went, okay, that works. So there was the birth of Tartan Panda, and why I started calling myself Panda instead of Cameron. Unless I was doing something personal when I was talking to you guys, I was like, pulling my heart out to you, then I would refer to myself as Cameron. Which kind of draws this divide between the serious and the comical. You know, the comical, the gaming, this Tartan Panda. And then there was serious bits that I was doing, which was Cameron. I think it was about month and a half in where this change happened. I was at college at this point. And all this, so I was like, yeah, okay, this is fair enough. Then I started doing more serious things. I did a few, face things. I started creating. Well, I'd already created custom thumbnails for a while, slight edits and all this. And then I started doing more stuff like camera, put more into my mic, trying to actually get a bit better at stuff. So I could start doing gaming stuff, start doing stuff on the computer. And yeah, it was running quite well for a while. But then I decided, I was like, well, no, I want to do more as an actual, artist, as an actual, writer and all this. So I decided to set up a secondary channel, which initially was actually called, to begin with, it was called Fishton the Harmonica, and it was one that I used to watch anime. That then changed to Scottish Assassin, where I actually made a pretty alright edit of, again, 2 pictures of the internet I melded together. And then that slowly changed into Tartan Productions. It was a production company that I was set up and try and make this Tartan thing an actual company. Have two YouTube channels, one for personalised, gaming, just talking, and one for specifically the company. And if you go over to that, that is actually what that art is. That is also my tartan. Now, Gao actually has 6 different tartans, including dress, hunting, weathered, and 2 ancient tartans, which are slightly paler than the other 4. So I chose my favourite tartan for this one, and I chose my dress tartan, my actual professional tartan, for that channel, and that's where it kind of developed from. I set up a Google account using this, using Tartan Productions as an actual thing, and it was one that I started using for correspondence, talking to people. It's what I use for half my stuff that I set up now is my Google account, because my other account, my AOL account, is literally called CandyBabe5, and it was set up when I was very, very young. You can tell that because it's an AOL account. Oof. So I now have this Google account, which is my main correspondence. So stuff that I put in for YouTube. So everything that happens on YouTube gets sent to that account. Everything to do with my acting gets sent to this account. Everything is in this account now. And it's kind of what's brought us to this point. A point where, again, I've started scripting stuff out. I've invested in certain items. One being the little clicker to start and stop my camera. Or should I say my phone, but we'll go with camera for now. Tripods, bipods, this gorilla pod thing. I don't have the bipod anymore because it broke, but it wasn't very good, so it's not a great loss. I actually have 2 tripods, neither of which I actually have in here, because I don't use the tripod in here, I use it through there. I've also set up 2 different rooms, separating professional and non-professional. So that's my professional one through there, which is showing, it's a sofa, it's more casual sit down talking, plain background. While in here, it has got quite a plain background. You've also got my bag, you've got my shoes, belt, clothing, and some points. Because this is my dressing room. Basically, when I moved into the room, I had little to no space for my actual clothing. That's where this came in. This is an old room that used to have a shower in it. That's why the wall here and here, it fitted perfectly with a shower and a sink. Actually, this also used to be the utility room. So used to have all that in here. That got moved into the kitchen, into another back room. So I kind of controlled this area to try and make a more professional environment. But this has kind of came about to being where I do everything for last week. Purely because it's a good space. It's not too echoey, especially if I speak into the right areas. And it's quite enclosed, so it's nice. It's also got a single bulb light there, similar to what's in my room, but I can actually stand underneath it, so I can get as much light into both the camera and my face as possible. So there's that. However, this wouldn't be a good roundup if I didn't look and point out to the future. So what is the future of Tartan Productions, Tartan Panda, the 2 channels? What is the future to this? hopefully, now again, I can't say anything other than hopefully it will be just as strong and hopefully stronger in the next coming year. Even with the fact that I'm pushing more towards my acting career and whatnot than I am towards my YouTube career, whatever you want to call it. I've invested a lot into this. I'm not going to lie, and I feel that it is coming through. You know, the way that I do edit stuff together, the way I've scripted stuff, I believe, now again that is the optimal word here, believe that that effort is being shown by you guys. You know, the views are going up, the actual timer of you guys watching it is going up, and I understand I understand the whole, stretching a video out to 10 minutes just to get this is an old thing. But when you're doing it for a general reason, like the reason that my last weeks are all over 30 minutes long is purely because they have to be. To put enough time and effort and editing into a video, you have to at least give each section of it at least 5 minutes. However, over the last few days, should I say for the last few weeks even, so I class each video as a day, but over the last few weeks it's not really been there. Some stuff has drifted off purely because last week relies on me actually doing something, me actually having something to do, to say, to excite you guys about, which isn't happening. And I don't want to blame myself for this, because who does? And I don't want to blame my surroundings, I don't want to blame my town for this. However, I do believe that once I move down to Bristol, or even to London, there is actually slight possibilities that might happen. Found a nice few places in both London and Bristol that is reasonably affordable. And seeing that, I believe that once that happens, once I make that move, that the vlogs will become more interesting, because I'll have something else to say, something else to do. Be like, yeah, today I went into London, or I, went around London. I auditioned for this place, I auditioned for here, I made this video, I did this, blah, blah, blah. And as it goes on, I feel that perhaps the more that I expand as a person, not my waistline, obviously, gotta keep that slim, that's trimmed. But as I, increase myself, be it professionally, be it personally, I feel that, it will come through into the videos. So, that the end of that bit, last section, you can see I was trailing off. That's because I don't have any notes for that bit. Me being me, I purely based it off of what I'd already done, which was just my past. And starting to talk about the future is a lot difficult, and much more difficult to actually consume, because you don't want to think that far ahead, which is what I've gone and now done. I stopped the video, I went away, I thought, I looked, I see myself through others' eyes. I don't know, some, theological mind fucking thing. But I went away and I thought about it, I looked and went, yeah, this is what I want to do. So, here we go. What is the future of this channel, of both these channels, really going to be about? Not the rambling I just did, but solidly, what is it going to be about? And I'll tell you, growth is all I can say about this. I need to grow as a person. I need the channel to grow as a channel. I need both of them I need to grow as a channel. I also need my opportunities to grow. So as I was saying before, that's what this move is going to be about. Going down south, as much as I am proud to be Scottish, I'm strong down, pinned, this is my land, this is my freedom, everything I do is for this place. I have to leave it because there is nothing else here to do. I've expanded everything I can do with Elgin, with Inverness, with Aberdeen. True. If I stayed a bit longer, perhaps I'd find an acting job. But with this place, it's so limited that I need somewhere where I can go, hello, this is me, you don't know me, I want you to know me. And hopefully I can then take that and bring it back up here. You know, similar to what the English, or should I say the British, did during the Victorian era of colonisation. We took the best bits we could find and we took it back to our country and tried to make our country bloom. Literal cases, because we did take a few plants. But taking what I found down south, you know, I get a good job, it's stable enough, I get some money, and heaven forbid, I become famous. You know, I'm doing film after film after film, big blockbusters. I will then know that I've done what I want. You know, I've got where I need to be. And hopefully, you know, with the fame of acting, will then trickle through into the channel. You know, will people go, oh yeah, this guy's an actor. This guy's famous. This guy had this before he started acting. Let's go look at this. And then they'll see what a big failure I really am. Yeah. There you go. I wouldn't say the complete history because it's not complete history of me. This is only the best bits. And as sad as that sounds, half of this stuff, I don't regret anything I've put on YouTube. From the shitty things to start with, to the shoving my belly in people's faces, to the god-awful terrible singing. I don't regret any of that. Why? Because without it, I wouldn't have grown as a person. I was going to go and quote Bring Me the Horizon, but I don't know the quote perfectly. Only every scar will build my throne. It carries on. Yeah, there you go. Every mistake I have made... Wow, I almost unwittingly went into Lincoln Park there. Yeah, there you go then. No, but like every mistake I've made is just one less mistake I will make in the future, and it will go underneath me and raise me slightly higher. Because I know not to do that in the future, which means I never fall back down there. And hopefully, with this, you know, you guys haven't seen the actual, you know, inside story for over this last, you know, 7 odd years. But up here has slightly grown as well. The dark thoughts and everything that faded around my brain made me do things I didn't want to do, or I know I shouldn't have done, has somewhat lifted, and you can actually see there's a point back in those, you know, daily vlogs where you can see that I relapsed. But I feel that you could only see that if you looked and like actually looked at me and the way I was, you know, being at that point, you'd be like, ah, yeah, there you go, that's the time. At this point to this point, you know, you relapse. And again, it's not a bad thing to relapse, to go back on what you had already done. You know, make the same mistake twice. Because once you've made it the second time, you hella should not be doing it the third time. But if you do, well, obviously I have failed again, because I keep going into stupid accents. But yeah, so that is the censored history of me, which you'll have to deal with because you ain't getting the true history of me, because that would take too long and it would probably be blacker than this jumper. Anyway, I've been Cameron. I will see you tomorrow with a roundup video. Cameron out.